soy when I walk, boy. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another season of NGS. Today we are going to be going to the Nexus division, game number 1 for under Newb management and magnitude Tsunami. Sorry, give me one moment. Okay, sorry, just the team's talking and I am still on my one monitor setup, so it is a little bit awkward right now. But yeah, today we're going to be having the first week of Nexus Division games. Obviously, neither one of these two sides has played a game, and the Sound 51, thank you for the rate of 13. Welcome, hope you had a good cast as well, and you came just in time because we are about to get started with game number 1. So yeah, just absolute perfect timing here. Hope the games did go great, but again, there's really not much to say. No standings to really look at. This is going to be the start for both these two teams, just trying to see whether they can start off the season strong. The main thing I will say is I'm really happy that we even have a Nexus division this time around. Again, huge shout out. I know I mentioned this yesterday. Some of you may have been here, some of you may have not, but I'm so happy that we have the Nexus division back, and we have 6 more teams compared to last season overall. So gonna be a good season, gonna be an absolutely fun time here at NGS. And yeah, with that, let's take a quick look over at the map picks actually. And we have already the bans, so it's going to be Full Sky Foundry, Battlefield of Eternity, Towers of Doom, and Braxis banned out. And game number 1 is going to be going straight over here. It is going to be the Garden of Terror for game number 1. And Garden of Terror is going to be a lot of fun because, well, I mean, first of all, as you notice with Battlefield, Towers, and Braxis gone, a lot of those really fighting-oriented maps, they're all just completely disappeared. We're not going to be having them. And Garden's one of the most macro-intensive maps I think that we have in the NGS, period. Because it's just it's a big map. There's no real bosses. So you're either going to be playing in it, you're going to be moving around the macro, or you're going to lose. Like, that's just how it goes. There's 3 lanes, no bosses, just got to fight over the objectives. That's really your main way to play it. Or you can do the split push compositions. And again, we're probably going to see a Dahaka here, picked or banned, hopefully banned. I hope by now everyone's aware I am not a Dahaka fan and never will be. But lobby is created. All 10 players are here. So we should be ready to get started soon. I don't know if I missed anything from the players, but I already gave them the ready check. And then we'll be headed right into the Garden of Terror. I'm so happy to be back with HOTS. I mean, I did a little bit of Heroes Lounge, I think a couple weeks ago, just because I had some extra time in the mornings. And that was a lot of fun, but let's face it, NGS is better anyway. It's a lot nicer to have it in the evenings as well. Have that North American, the local boys, the local girls, just everyone putting out their best HOTS action. And again, with the Nexus division, because we've had that break, there's really no huge expectations from any of these teams. I'm sure a lot of the teams disagree. They definitely want to see what they can do on their own. They definitely want to see where they can climb, where they can grow, and try to compete for that number 1 spot. But it's just going to be interesting. It's going to be an absolute mayhem. Every single team's just going to be vying for that number 1 spot. But now with the current meta with Garden of Terror, I mentioned this yesterday, but again, in case you weren't around, I don't actually know the meta too much right now. Especially because it's been a bit since the patch has dropped. I have not been playing my Storm League games, I'll be completely honest with all of you. And I know for a fact that these teams, they change the metas up once they play it. Once they get set up, once they're in the position where they can, once they figure out the patch, that's when everything starts becoming fun. We see a couple strategies coming in, we see a couple meta breakers, as it does look like both teams have readied up. So it is time to head straight into the draft for game number 1. Like I said, it is Garden of Terror. And one thing I did forget to mention is the coin toss was won by under Newb management, so magnitude is going to be the ones that are gonna have that picked through this map, Garden of Terror. Oh, and immediately someone left, so right back we go. I mean, okay, so we practiced, we did the little warm-up, we should be good. Ah. Okay, yeah, first pick was on the wrong side. That's what the issue was. I mean, I think that's a good reason to restart the lobby. Hopefully not going to be long. Just need the player to rejoin, and it will be right back in. But yeah, Toki said it, so it must be true. Yeah, I mean, it's 100% true. I think that if you take the best teams going on from Heroes Lounge, from the European teams, including Hasuobs and whatever roster he ends up building or being a part of, they'll maybe be competitive in Div A. But I think that's really the most they're going to be able to do. After that, like, they're just going to be way out of their depth. So it's a shame. And I do think that they're going to be able to grow as a region. They just need a little bit more time practicing together, you know? I think that's the best way to describe it all. But the 10th player has rejoined again. And then we should be heading right back into the game. But I guess with this break, I will give a very quick shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, Factor 75. Factor 75 is a meal service plan that will bring you ready-to-eat meals straight to your door. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef crafted, dietitian approved, and most importantly, it's ready to eat in just 2 minutes. And I think that's the biggest one. So be sure to order a Factor today. Click the link in the chat or the panel down below, or use my code FACTOR SE82337 to get 50% off your first box and free breakfast for a whole year. So thank you once again to Factor 75 for sponsoring this stream. And I gotta say, that is something that I have used in the past, and it is genuinely so convenient. So I got the script out of the way. Now it's time to give my genuine thoughts on it. And main thing, it is so much cheaper than any of those, like, don't want to toss the brand names, but like Uber, well, I don't even care. Uber Eats and all that, it just costs so much more. And then Factor 75, it's a lot cheaper, and the quality's high, and most importantly, it's healthy. Good luck eating out while eating healthy, but either way, it is time to get it in. As for some reason, the pop-up happened at the same time. Oh well, that's life. But we are back into the draft, and hopefully this time around, we are on the correct sides. So this should be good. Yeah, it is going to be first ban on the blue side for under Newb management. And it is going to be Liddell captaining on the left side. Brick going to be captaining for Magnitude Tsunami. Always happy to see Magnitude back here. Just a very fantastic org to have around. I mean, how many teams does Magnitude even have? I think it's 4 or 5. As I also just realized, I completely forgot to set up Twitch chat here for today. Again, I'm still on my one monitor setup for now. Shouldn't be for too much longer. The funny thing is, I brought the monitor arms today, and then I didn't have space to bring the actual monitors themselves. So, yeah, you know what? That's just life, though. There's so many more options on the mobile now. It's awful, but first few bans are starting to come through. Hanzo and the Anduin going to be getting banned over on under Newb management. And over on the side of Magnitude Tsunami, it is going to be the Duran. It is going to be the Dahaka. I'm always happy to see Dahaka banned. If I know for a fact it's not going to be in the game, that means it's going to be a good game. As you see Rhaegar getting locked in by Alan by default. And I do like Rhaegar as a first pick. I mean, it's a very solid healer. It's a very strong burst healer. And I think that's the most important part. So if they want to do a huge all-in composition, I think that's going to be the single best way. Tsunami, Earthquake, Fault Shift, Aftershock. I don't remember if there's any others. I usually only remember as I cast, just because I'll be honest, I'm terrible at remembering team names. I remember players. I don't remember teams, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, still, having 4 rosters throughout all of NGS, that's already really big. So it's super nice having an org like that around. Kind of like CCS, but we have Falstad locked in for Brick and Adubrak locked in for PP Wallow. Sonya for Liddell and Raynor for Lumi. So we're going to have Jimmy coming out today. And I'm actually a little bit surprised about that, because Guard of Terror, that's typically not a map you do see the Raynor on. And I don't think there's really anything that Raynor hard counters. At least nothing that's been locked in yet on the side of Magnitude. Falstad's going to be able to do just fine into it. Anubrak might take a decent bit of damage. Raynor does have a lot of burst, and it's auto attack damage burst, so not going to be protected by the Hardened Carapace. But Li Ming going to be the third ban, and that's a very interesting ban to me, because the Anubrak is typically really good at dealing with the Li Ming. But not only do they lock in the Anubrak, they're also going to be removing it entirely from the game. Might be a little bit worried about that. I believe, you know, I'm not even gonna bother trying. I think Chromage plays that, but I might be completely wrong. I'm missing names as well as the season does start. It's Sergeant Hammer gonna be banned away on the side of Newb management, and considering they have Rhaegar and Raynor, would be a little bit harder to deal with. I think with Sonya they might have been able to deal with Sergeant Hammer, but it doesn't look like they want to, and frankly, I don't blame them. It's so annoying to deal with, but. It is going to be Oreo locked in for Omni and the Blaze locked in for Aaron. Going to help with that front line. And yeah, I was completely wrong. It is AG Silver. It is AG Silver. I didn't even remember that. But, oh well, that's life. So it looks like they are going to have a little bit of that Death Ball composition coming out from Magnitude. Especially with the Blaze, it's going to help a lot with that front lining. Anubrak is pretty squishy as far as tanks go, but Blaze definitely going to be able to make up for it. Especially with the healing coming in from Oriel. As you see, the ETC locked in for Chromage and the Vala locked in for AG Silver. Vala is definitely going to be a massive DPS. Just going to be, I mean, Raynor and Vala both are kind of just stat stick DPSs. They're not going to be able to do too much fancy stuff, especially the Raynor. Vala obviously can vault, hop, jump, skip away, and do whatever else she needs to do. But the way the damage is dealt is still very straightforward. And I think that's the main thing with Vala. But Cassia, final pick for Wafflecopter. And honestly, I think that's a really solid pick. Now, they don't have a lot of blinds outside of the Cassia, but both the DPSs on the side of Newb management are going to be auto attack based. But that's it. That's a draft. We have all 10 of our members, so it's time for us to head into game number 1. Welcome back, and Computex says in the chat, first match for both teams. Can't wait to see what they got for the season, and we're gonna find out just what it is both these two teams have on our new management and Magnitude Tsunami. They're gonna be showcasing exactly what they can bring to this quote-unquote new division in the Nexus division coming out for week number 1 of the NGS. But just starting out right now, all 5 members on the side of Magnitude Tsunami looks like at the very least they're going to be starting through the middle, while it's only 3 in the middle for Newb management. Granted, Lumi may just be lagging behind a little bit, but trying to fake me out, and will fake me out entirely. Okay, Lumi's going to be going mid as well, but Liddell going to be starting straight in that bottom lane, so it is going to be slight numbers advantage in the mid lane for Magnitude Tsunami. But again, with the rosters they have, they're not going to be super strong there to fight. And once again, I've noticed this in Europe as well, but it is the auto attack build coming out from Wafflecopter on this Cassia. And that does seem to be just the meta right now. Lightning Fury days are over. You gotta auto attack, and Frequent Flyer as well coming out. So 2 auto attack builds coming out from Magnitude Scrummage. Going to be looking for the power side, not going to be able to connect it quite yet. Meanwhile, on the other side, it is going to be the Exterminator, which is a little bit surprising, because there aren't too many camps on this side. It will allow Lumi to take this Bruiser camp basically right on spawn, which is what I'm guessing the play is. Lumi's going to take the Siege camp and then go straight to the Bruiser camp. And that's kind of the advantage you have. You're going to have the increased pace on the camps, and overall just increased pace on the map because of it. And Liddell even going to be helping. They're actually starting on the Bruiser camp at level 2. That's really brave. And I think it is going to be able to benefit them a lot with the push, especially if they're able to group into it. As now we are seeing, again, it is going to be Creed of the Hunter, so auto attacks all around, all 3 of the carries, all 4 if you count Raynor, though Raynor doesn't really have too many other options, are going to be going that auto attack build this time around. So right click's going to be very powerful, but looking over at the 2 tanks and who can deal with it better, it's actually a little bit awkward, because genuinely I think the best equipped to deal with this is the Blaze, so kind of the offlaner on the side of Magnitude. Anubrak definitely struggles a little bit more into it, but now Liddell spinning to win, will get stunned up, Impale as well. And Liddell taking so much damage, has no way to get out. The healing not going to be enough, and it's going to be first blood going over to Magnitude Tsunami. And that's going to be a couple stacks for Brick. I believe it is a full half damage increase immediately, so very well done by Magnitude Tsunami. But the push is definitely favoring the side of under Newb management. They definitely came in with this strategy planned out ahead of time. And I was wondering why they picked Jimmy, and that's what they wanted Jimmy for. Just getting a couple faster kills onto those neutrals, just pushing the pace of the game. And with that, the Bruiser camp hasn't even been started on the side of Magnitude. They just cannot walk into it. The pressure that's being dealt by Lumi just forces everyone to kind of respond to the camps that are being thrown out. As now again, Wafflecopter just continuing to push, and because this is the auto attack Cassia, it is a lot harder to play, especially in the early game. I don't think you get the range increase till level 16, as Aaron taking a little bit of damage, not going to be taking too much. And again, with Omni in the area with that Oriole, healing's usually not a big issue. It's hard to be completely out of it, as the Impale actually does land onto Liddell, but no follow-up with the Burrow charge. And now level 6 on both sides. Very slight lead to Magnitude right now. However, there is a camp crashing in down here. It is definitely close enough where it could just be a matter of where the waves currently are. As the power slide actually does hit Omni, and Break flying down. It is going to be all 5 members of Magnitude here fighting for this seed. Neither side has a major advantage over the positioning quite yet, but we are going to be getting started. Level 7 is very, very close on the side of under Newb management, and they could look for it, but instead it's going to be Lumi, or sorry, not Lumi. AG Silver taken down first on this Vala, and that is going to be that Gambit's attack loss, minus 5% attack speed. And on top of that, Wafflecopter going to be able to secure the seed. So very well targeted on the side of Magnitude Tsunami, finding the main DPS really. And I'm not saying that to disparage Louis, but I'm just saying that because, you know, it's Exterminator. The whole point of Raynor is not to be that main hyper carry. It is to be that consistent carry. But definitely going to be very unfortunate for AJ Silver losing out on that talent. And I think that's kind of what makes the double whammy. Not only do you get rid of the carry, you're also permanently debuffing that carry. As now Liddell just trying to get in the way. It looks like they do want to contest onto this Bruiser Cap. Wafflecopter taking a decent amount of damage. And now Wallow is here as well. Liddell immediately gets cast on the spin with the Impale. And the healing not going to be enough for Liddell. And now they're going to be turning it right around. Allen by default, super low, but will be able to run away in wolf form. They will be able to secure their own camp on the side of Magnitude Tsunami. And again, Liddell is gone. This next seed is available. So they're just going to start contesting it. They're going to start pushing in for it. And the channel is just going to be there by Omni, not even going to be contested on the side of under Newb management. Now Aaron and Wafflecopter both in the air. They're going to start pushing this in. And they've already broken most of this wall. They still have a very healthy kind of push coming in from both the mercenaries and the minions. They could even start looking for more. I think they could get a decent amount of damage onto this fort. I don't think they'll be able to finish it off. They can definitely make it hurt. As now Chromage looking for the face mode, only able to knock back Aaron, but that's not the target you really want, as the detainment strike coming in from Omni. But to knock Chromage to the backline. Jet propulsion from Aaron hits on it too, but neither side has a really good push opportunity here. Now Liddell is kind of solo pushing in the bot side as Brick is collecting this siege camp, and third seed is going to be spawning in that bottom side, favoring Magnitude Tsunami in terms of spawn location. So this could be a good opportunity for them to get an early Garden Terror spawn coming out and pushing in through all 3 lanes. And with the health that's left on this top lane fort, that could be an opportunity to just break open the base and kind of start building that advantage, get that passive push, get that passive XP. And that's what I'm excited to really start seeing from Magnitude Tsunami. Level 10s are there for both sides, so there could be a fight coming through. It is going to be Mosh Pit coming out from Chrome, which is going to be difficult to hold on to it, but they're not even going to be able to start the fight. Magnitude Tsunami, they have it. They have the Garden Terrors. There is a little bit of a Bruiser camp pushing on the bot side, so the bot lane Garden Terror will be a little bit delayed, and it looks like they're just going to let the top one take down their fort. I think they know they're not going to be able to DPS it down fast enough. What they can do instead is focus down this mid lane, make sure that they don't lose too much on those other 2 lanes, as Brick got to be able to finish off the fort in the top side. They do still need to deal with this though, because this will eventually crash onto their second wall. But now fight could be coming through in the bot side. Chromage is in the area. All 5 members here. It's actually the leap into the backline. Hyperion over top as well. And now the Mosh Pit on to 2. They're going to be able to take 1. They're going to be able to take 2. Omni going to get hit with a power slide as well in a very bad spot. Has the Crystal Aegis, but it's only going to buy some time. Allen by default going to take that kill. And it's going to be a 3-0 for under Newb management. They will be able to protect their bot lane fort. but their top lane wall is going to be taken down in the meanwhile. And the question is, they did get those kills, but they're still down in terms of levels. They're still down in terms of experience. But can they bring it back? Because there are no more C's left. And actually, Aaron is completely alone here on the bot side. Lumi trying to DPS jet propulsion is going to get blocked by Chromage. Power side not going to be in range. Oil Slick is there. One more auto's needed. Can they reach? And now by default, going to be able to jump in. Is now Wafflecopter also in the area. Lightning Ball bouncing between them. And the stun coming out from Wallow with the Impale as well. Brick in the area, but the power side just buying some space. And the Ancestor healing's not going to be quick enough. Unfortunately, with that delay cast, it is going to be a kill going back to Magnitude Tsunami. And they're just going to continue pushing back into this bot lane. There's no one here to defend. They had to send 2 members top to deal with that other guard and terror. And with that, they're just going to be able to clear out this bot fort. So that's 2 structures to nothing now. However, it is for the first time in a while a level lead coming out from under Newb management. It is very small, maybe a 5th of a level. But you'll take that considering how far back they are in buildings now. You will definitely take that, having those talents, having that power for yourself. But now, let's question about what's going to be coming up next. There's the Bruiser Camp getting started off on that top right side by Magnitude. Should be secured for themselves. No contest coming out this time around. However, we do see Chromage and a lot of the squad from under Newb management. It looks like they want to steal away the siege camp. Or maybe even look to pick someone off for it. But now PP Wallow is here. Same with Brick. Brick could be the target. And now with the power side going to be there. But the mosh pit's not in time. The gust is even going to be committed from Brick. But now the Hyperion. All of this is over a siege camp, by the way. Now they're fighting for Wallow. The cocoon is there as well. Hyperion actually going to help break them out. So they did manage to steal it. And now Rain of Vengeance not going to be there. Wafflecopter able to get away to safety. Very random place for a full fight. But you know what? We will take it. I love to see action whenever and wherever it arises. And honestly, this gives me a little bit of potential Scrim Thursday vibes. Just kind of fighting for a basic siege camp. It's not even a bruiser camp. But in the end, they managed to steal the camp. No kills going over to either side. But a lot of abilities are going to be used. A lot of those heroics. But Lumi should be able to just channel this down. Wallow might have the timing. Will be able to cancel it for now. But I think that was just to delay. It doesn't look like they're planning a full defense quite yet. And now by default, going to be able to secure the first seed for under Newb management. And now there is going to be the siege camp shoving in through mid lane. The bruiser camp is getting cleared away by Liddell in the top side. And the bruiser camp now getting contested by the side of Magnitude Tsunami. They don't have enough players here to contest this. They're just going to have to give up this bruiser camp, but that's definitely a huge shame coming out for under Newb management. Very well done by Magnitude Tsunami to see that Liddell's in the top side. They saw Aegis over there not too long ago, and they're just playing this map really well. Now the leap in the backline, the gust not there in time, and the cocoon perfectly interrupts the power side. But Liddell is still alive, Chromage is still alive, but they're not going to be able to follow up anymore. That was perfect cocoon time coming out of PP Wallow, because that power side was gonna land on a 3 or 4. Even if that mosh pit does get interrupted a little bit after, just those few seconds was more than enough time to set up on everything else. And now Chromage alone in all 5 will get picked off, and that should be another seed going over to the side of Magnitude Tsunami. But they don't want the seed quite yet. What they want is this mid lane fort, and they should be able to secure it for themselves. As now Brick is going to be on C duty, just going to finish off these little guardians. And the channel should be clean. And now Liddell could be alone on the top side. Wafflecopter's in the area. Same with Wallow. Wallow's still just standing next to it. Will be able to get the Ancient Spear. And just like that, Liddell is going to be gone. But Rain of Vengeance is going to be there on it too. But no answer coming out from the side of under Newb management. Just going to be a clean pickoff. And it's definitely starting to become an issue. Chromage just respawned, but now Liddell's going to be gone for 30 seconds. And you're just kind of always down these players. And I think that's going to make it pretty hard for them to be able to retake their footing. But luckily, they're in a position where it's just 1-1 in terms of seeds. Neither side has a major advantage quite yet in terms of that. However, in terms of structures, that's where we see Magnitude Tsunami really starting to take over the map. All 3 camps on the left side are going to be taken by Magnitude. So they not only have they gotten all of their camps, minus the one siege camp that was contested, but they're going to be able to steal away every single one. That's going to be a lot of experience, not reachable for under Newb management, and they're going to be able to start sieging up these structures as well the passive experience, the passive cannons coming in. It's only every 3 waves, I believe, but it adds up. I mean, and right now, no one can contest it because they need to fight for the seed. So they're gonna lose this bottom cannon turret while both of the other sides are starting to group for the seed. Chromage is in the area. And in fact, they have everyone here except Brick, but Brick does have flight, just trying to take this extra camp before grouping up with the team. And now we are going to see the flight coming through, just going to be over the top here. But neither side's able to really commit onto the seed quite yet. And honestly, Magnitude, they don't need to commit yet. They can just keep playing slow, keep playing passive. They don't need to push the tempo. They have pushing lanes at the top and the bottom, but a fight could break open at any moment now. And they have a lot of tools to interrupt the channel, even without committal. Aaron, without Oil Slick and Twin Stream, just able to completely interrupt them. But right now, they're just keeping them away. Wallow is going to use the cocoon onto AG Silver, but Alan by default will be able to secure the cocoon. The seed, sorry, but now Aaron looking for the jet propulsion, not going to be able to find it. And Magnitude Tsunami, they're just going to be able to back away. Very well done. Just trying to play the zone and the area control. They didn't even need to commit a single heroic ability. They still have it all. And looks like the threat of the leap, the threat of the mosh pit, and just all the damage coming out of AG Silver was more than enough to just back everyone off. But now with that, they didn't seem to lose too much in terms of structures. They did lose their wall on the top side, which definitely hurt. But now they have a little bit of time to clear out some of these mercenaries. The issue is going to be this wave right here. This is the one that's going to be dealing damage, and they no longer really have that buffer. It's just going to go straight to the keep. So they need to either make a play fast or they need to send someone up to deal with this, because otherwise it's going to hurt. And I think with the way the map is, I was going to say they may decide to hold on to it, but with level 20s coming up, actually this might be the better idea, just because if they don't fight here, the next seed's going to be even harder. They will end up losing this bruiser camp, as now Aaron, Ancient Spear, is going to be their power slide as well. Chromage with the face mount. Aaron starting it pretty low, now the Hyperion and the leap over top of the bunker is going to come through, and now Chromage is going to get taken down. Did have the mosh pit on Wallow, but now what about the fight afterwards? Liddell's still a little bit low, but so is Aaron. It is 4v5, and Liddell gonna get taken down. Lumi trying to auto attack over top, but it's not enough. It's gonna be the 2-for-0. In fact, Lumi could get chased down here as well. It does have a little bit of healing coming over as Wolfcopter still trying to run forward. Rain of Vengeance deals a decent amount of damage, but now they're looking towards AG Silver. The Impale's not gonna land. Neither will that Hammerang. But they did lose their keep in the top side, and this massive wave that I was talking about has grown even more massive, and now it's going to be reaching the core. It's the second seed going over now for the side of Magnitude Tsunami, and they're really starting to wash over this wave here because they lost 2 keeps. They only have the 1 left in the mid lane. All the camps are available, but again, the death timers are not there. The level 20s are not there. Magnitude Tsunami just have a massive lead right now, and they're going to be able to continue to grow it. This bruiser camp will go down. That's going to be extra pressure in the bottom lane. They're going to be able to take away this siege camp. That'll be some extra pressure, I believe, going towards the mid lane. They won't be able to take this camp in the top side, so at the very least, they'll have a little bit of reprieve, but even so, without any cannons at all, the cannon waves coming out from Magnitude Tsunami could be more than enough to shove that wave in. But the next seed is spawning here. They're down level 20s. Do they want to fight anyway? Aaron could be a target. Face mount is there, as now the cocoon has also landed onto AG Silver, and now Chromage in the backline. Leap lands onto 3, but the damage just isn't there. Liddell going to be the first to go down, and the lightning ball just crashing between them. Chromage almost gets taken down just to that. And now with these Garden Terrors, that's definitely going to be going over to the side of Magnitude. They could look to end this game as Wallow lands a Burrow Charge onto 3. Hyperion going to get popped now just to help zone away, just to get a little bit of pressure off of their top side, because they're losing out on the bot side. They're losing out in the mid lane of Magnitude Tsunami. They're looking for more, but now the Crystal Aegis comes out just in time, and Wafflecopter going to be completely okay. And now the mosh pit is there, but it's just on to Wallow. Immediately going to get canceled out by Aaron. And now this mid lane push is going to get started. They have a cannon. They have 2 sieges. They have 2 cannons, actually. And they have the Garden Terrors. This should be the 3rd and final keep going down, as Wolfcopter and Wallow actually trying to walk onto the core itself, but the rest of the team just trying to finish this off, just trying to make sure they have these Garden Terrors with them. There is going to be another one pushing into the top lane in a bit. Can they end the game here, or can they get defended on? As Aaron with the jet propulsion absolutely takes on Chromage. Now in the back lane, Rain of Vengeance is there, but the wind tunnel just dealing too much. The space created from it is too high, as Aaron once again going in, looking on to Lumi, and the damage is too high onto the core. They tried to defend. They had the leaps. They did not have the damage, and Magnitude Tsunami are going to win game number 1. And a very, very close game from both sides to start, but Magnitude Tsunami, once they took that lead, once they got all those 3 seeds, they just never let off the gas pedal. They just made sure they could run straight through and take game number 1 for themselves. Absolutely phenomenal macro play. And some pretty nice micro plays coming out of them as well. Especially, again, Wallow with that cocoon coming out onto Chromage just to prevent the power slide onto 4. That could have been a game-changing power slide if that landed. BB Wallow made sure that could not happen. And that's all it takes sometimes. Magnitude Tsunami, they're going to be your winners for game number 1. But again, this is the best of 3, so we're going to go to a short break. But when we come back, we're going to be headed straight into game 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
I saw it when I walked, boy. I saw it when I walked, boy.
All right, and we are back for map 2, where we are going to be going over to a Dragon Shire. So again, going to be another one of those macro focused maps, and this is a pretty snowballing map too, I might add. Garden of Terror definitely has some snowball elements to it, and the side of Magnitude definitely was able to make use of it. But I think this side's going to be a lot worse for that, because once you're able to take control of the 3 shrines, in theory, you never really need to go past the middle of the map until you get that Dragon Knight, and you can still absolutely win the game. So you're able to win by taking on less threat. So could be interesting there. And I'm wondering if that's going to make a difference for this game. If maybe not needing to take as much risk can benefit one of the rosters over the other. But another thing to mention is it is going to be first pick on the side of Magnitude Tsunami. It is going to be the map choice coming out from under Newb management. And we have seen in the past that Dragon Shire is definitely a place where a lot of very niche and unique strategies can start coming out. We've seen a lot of interesting offlane choices. We've seen like the anchors coming out where we do a 1-3-1, only having individuals on each of the 2 shrine lanes and just defending onto the Dragon Knight statue itself. And typically you'll put a regular offlaner kind of towards that top side. Like that's where you have your Dahaka, your Blaze, etc. But in the bot lane, you can throw in something like the Tyrael as an example. Just a tank that can clear a little bit. Doesn't even need to be able to full clear. Just someone who can stand there, take the damage, not going to be in too much threat, and just soak up the wave. That's their entire job. They don't need to win the bot lane. They just need to survive there. But we already went through the first phase of picks and bans. It is going to be Hanzo and Anubrak banned away on the side of under Newb management as Magnitude Tsunami. They're going to be banning away the Joanna and the Li Ming. Dahaka going to be the first pick coming out for Aaron. And Alan by default and Lumi are going to take the 2 blondes, Anduin and Chromie. And Anduin, obviously, very solid healer. Not too much to say about that. But Chromie, especially, very, very fun little mage. Will be able to provide a lot of poke damage. Will be able to provide a lot of area control. And again, the shrines are very small areas. So stuff like Chromie and stuff like the Junkrat that Wafflecopter locked in are going to be very good to have. It really makes holding on to a shrine a lot easier once you get it. And for the enemy team, it makes it a lot harder to hold and makes it easier to contest at the same time. So kind of works out for both these 2 teams. Junkrat might be a little bit better at controlling the area, but Chromie might be able to provide a little bit more damage while doing so. As we also see Muradin locked in for a PP Wallow as the main tank, and we see the Falstad banned away this time around by under Newb management. And next ban gonna be coming in shortly, and I'm wondering what they do want to ban. I wonder if they want to ban away the tank, but no, they're actually going to ban away Liddell Sonya. And honestly, that makes sense. They didn't manage to win out on any of those fights just because they were so behind, but Liddell was still able to land leaps onto 2 to 4 targets every single time. They were always very crucial targets too.
A great destiny.
So I do like that ban coming out. It's definitely going to give them a little bit less pressure to worry about from Liddell, but the variant is going to get locked in. And interestingly enough, I thought that was going to be locked in for Chromage, but this may be a variant off lane, or it's going to be Liddell playing main tank and Chromage moving over to the off lane with the Hogger. I think that does make a lot more sense. As, yeah, Hogger's a really solid off laner on this map specifically. Very good duelist, and when there's only that one lane to worry about, can kind of go full into that damage route and just not worry too much about moving between lanes, not worry too much about just getting all of the minions. It's all entirely about just dealing damage and having that control. And Into the Dahaka does quite well. I think it's kind of a neutralized lane. Neither one's really able to take full advantage of the other, but Hogger is able to stand there and take over the shrine because whenever Dahaka has to go down to the stasis, can no longer contest those points. So that's kind of the play coming out there. But it's going to be Sylvanas and Oreo locked in for Brick and Omni. And AG Silver going to be playing the Garrosh. Okay, so it's going to be solo Chromie DPS. This is very interesting composition. And this might be that 1-3-1 I was talking about earlier on. We'll have to see if that's exactly what they're trying to go for here. But, I mean, no time to find out like now because it's 5 seconds before we head into game number 2 between Under Newb Management and Magnitude Tsunami. Okay, and we are loaded into game number 2 between Under Newb Management and Magnitude Tsunami. There's a lot of N's and M's. It's just difficult to pronounce sometimes, I'll be completely honest with you, but it doesn't matter. Because all 10 members are here and all 10 members are ready to fight. But yeah, I mean, I gotta talk about this draft, right? So we're not gonna know exactly how Liddell's gonna be building this to level 4. But I suspect it might be the Colossus Smash. I'd be very shocked if it is a taunt. If it is just that double tank, triple frontline. I mean, no matter what, it's going to be a triple frontline composition. But I will say, I was very shocked to see that Raynor coming out in the map number 1. And the Raynor proved to be very strong for Lumi. Just being able to get that. So now they're immediately going to be going on to Wallow, but the Dwarf Toss able to get back to safety. And yeah, AG Silver already showing the aggression that you can bring out when you play that Garrosh. Just coming out with our Wrecking Ball and a Groundbreaker combo. But we do have Chromage already in the top, so just trying to get that early push started. Aaron now starting to move on the way, and with that extra move speed through the brushes, should be okay. As now in the bottom lane, it's going to be a bit of a push already coming through for Magnitude. Now, the camps should be spawning soon in just about 20 seconds, so I suspect we'll see one more wave cleared out before we start moving towards those. As Wafflecopter just getting a little bit of poke damage on the structures. It's not going to do too much, but every little bit adds up. And when there's really nothing else to do on the map, you may as well just get those little bits of micro efficiencies moving. But now Wafflecopter going to jump over the wall with a concussion mine just to get down to this bottom lane and start clearing it out. The rest of the roster, or I should say Brick and Omni, going to get started on the siege camp. As Chromage is starting on the Bruiser camp, but Wallow is here. And so is Aaron, so this is going to be a contested Bruiser camp, and with the HP bars, Wallow and Aaron may even be favored. But Lumi is going to be able to take the siege camp in the bot side and is going to start roaming up, and because of that, they have the numbers, so Wallow not going to be able to contest onto it, and actually jumps in, but it doesn't look like they even want to fight for it. They're just going to let it go for now. Wallow, very good attempt to try and delay a little bit longer, but it's not going to be able to come through, as once again, the camp advantage is going to be going over to Under Newb Management, but the level advantage still in favor of Magnitude Tsunami. They must have had to miss a little bit of that lane soak in order to get those camps for themselves. But now the question is, what can they do with those camps? Because right now it's Aaron and Brick on the top side. And even with that, Chromage still going to be looking to at least try and hold on to the shrine. We'll get it to the halfway point, and we'll be able to hold on to it as well. But now Aaron and Brick are in the area. But Liddell's completely alone in this mid lane, but the minions are in the way. You need to get rid of him, Liddell. One more auto. Go, go, go. As Chromage not able to hold it in the top side, so unfortunately they're not going to be able to get. But now Wallow starting to get a little bit low, and the time trap is there. The chastise over top, not going to be in range, and just a little bit of health left on PP Wallow. Not enough to get that kill. But the level advantage is starting to creep right on back. Now Liddell is in the area, and it is going to be the Colossus Smash. So we're going to be able to see that more damage-oriented variant coming through. That's the kind of melee assassin bruiser variant we love to see. But yeah, it is going to be a big burst of damage. It is going to also increase base damage by 100%. Now the chastise is going to land lots of damage on the Wallow, but again, the healing also very high as well. As now Lumi gonna get saved by Into the Fray. But it is 4 members here in this bottom lane, and it is overall the 1-1-3 setup. So not the 1-3-1 that I was thinking about, but definitely not the kind of typical 1-0-4 that you do see with someone kind of going between the lanes. Liddell is very much just sitting in the mid lane. South Chastise does land to the back lane, and they found Brick. Brick is going to be the main target and will get taken down. That is going to be first blood going over to the side of Under Newb Management, and they're going to be able to retake onto this bottom shrine and maybe even get a little bit of a push with it. But right now with Wafflecopter in the area, they do have level 7 advantage, and now we do see Liddell roaming into the top side. Colossus Smash, they do lower the armor, but do they have enough damage? Aaron just going to be able to walk it out, as in the bot lane, they are going to look to contest on it, but now Wafflecopter gets thrown back. Concussion Mine is going to get used to get back to safety. And now main thing, I haven't realized, but it is Perfect Storm coming out from Wallow and the Thunderburn as well. Very interesting first 2 talents, especially the Perfect Storm. So Wallow is definitely going to have to auto a lot will be dealing more and more damage as the game goes on. Whenever you have any of those quests, it is going to have that scaling component to it. You are going to be getting stronger and stronger, even beyond the pace. Now Omni gets hit with the Wrecking Ball, the Colossus Smash. More than enough damage coming out under Newb management, just able to get that kill for themselves. And now they're running in through this bot lane. And again, they're just 2-0. AG Silver just consistently finding these plays. Can they get any kind of damage onto these structures? Can they get the Dragon Knight for themselves? Because so far they haven't been able to accomplish too much with this lead. But the experience is definitely starting to grow. Almost a full level, actually. On the side of under Newb management. This macro play is definitely starting to come through. And it looks like the first play they want to try is to steal away the Siege Cam. Colossus Smash on a break in the back line. But neither side's going to be able to really accomplish too much. Health bar is definitely favoring the side of Magnitude Tsunami, but the Siege Camp still going to get stolen away. So a little bit of experience going to be going over to under Newb management. And I think a lot of that is because that slowing stance. Obviously, Chromie gets her heroic 2 levels early, along with every other talent, but it's going to help a lot. That zoning tool is so crucial in those small areas. This really nice unstoppable coming out from AG Silver to prevent the concussion mine from knocking them backwards. As again, Liddell just going to continue shoving out this mid lane, continue building up that lead as AG Silver, Detainment Strike into the wall, and will just get burst down. Bloomy, unfortunately, was at the camp, so that is going to be most of this bot lane wall getting taken down. And I say most of it, it might even end up being all of it. Wallow just tanking it up for the team. Black arrows, I don't think they've been used. If they have, they've been used earlier on, as in the top side. Aaron gonna be the main target, but again, just gonna be able to get back to safety. It's so hard to gang onto this Dahaka. But now with that, level 10 still favoring under Newb management, but not enough players here. Black arrows now gonna get used, and it's going to be right onto this fort. PP Wallow trying to zone them away, but AG Silver is back in concussion mine. Once again, the unstoppable is gonna come through just to buffer it. But that's more than half of their fort HP gone. So under Newb management, they started out real strong, and they're still up almost a full level, even in spite of all that. But it could get hard for them as AG Silver actually knocks Wallow down to this bottom side. And now there are 4 members here. Detainment Strike onto AG Silver, not going to be able to knock into the wall. As Chromage going to be able to secure this Bruiser Camp in the bottom side, as Liddell holding the top side for now. And again, the 2 shrines are in control by Magnitude Tsunami as well. Again, just keeps getting knocked down to this bottom side, just trying to be a pain. And the Riptire just going to be used for poke and zoning. So they will be able to take control of this bottom shrine. They will be able to control this area, as now we see a little bit of a kerfuffle happening on the top side. But again, there's not going to be too much immediate action from those 2. Just because of the fact that they can usually out-sustain it unless another member does show up, and Brick is here. And that's where things can get a little bit spicy. But instead, it looks like Liddell going to be roaming down to the bot side. And this could be an area for them to look for a fight. But Liddell's just going to help push out this lane, get the control. And they're going to be able to retake the shrines here. As now Chromage still standing on the top side, but not going to be able to grab it quite yet. Will use a hog wall, just get back to safety. And both sides right now just kind of looking for that opening, looking for that angle. And if anything, I would say under Newb management can wait a little bit. They're a lot closer to level 13s, and as they say, the Waffle Copter going to get knocked back, and the time stop perfectly timed, and Light Bomb lands onto Omni, but immediate Crystal Aegis to prevent it. Now the Chastise is still there, Groundbreaker, Dragon's Breath, and the Warlord's Challenge, and they're going to be able to take out the healer. Omni's going to be off of the map, and that could definitely open up some opportunity for them. They're going to start this siege in the bot lane. Wallow going to get knocked back, will be forced to pop the Avatar. Now the Stormbolts aren't going to be able to land, but again, more and more poke damage hitting onto these structures, onto these walls. As Liddell also starting to get this poke and this push in the mid lane. They're level 13 now. They have the talent advantage, and Chromage actually going to be able to secure this in the top lane. Now Brick is in the area, so might be able to interrupt onto Liddell, and will definitely be trying to. As now the Colossus Smash is going to be there, and Brick half HP, and now the Stormbolt is there, but Brick still takes so much damage. A little bit more is all that's needed, and they're going to be able to get it. Lumi with the last hit on that one. Riptire's there to zone, but only so much it can do, as the stasis just lasts forever. Allen by default takes a decent amount of damage there, as well as AG Silver looking for the Wrecking Ball, not going to be able to find it. And they're not going to be able to get the Dragon Knight for themselves. They're not going to be able to get too much structural damage, though. They did get a decent amount of poke here in the mid lane. but they will continue growing their lead. Still an absolute 1 level lead, starting to go a little bit above that 1 level as well. And again, level 14, it is a big timer for Lumi. Has that extra talent, hasn't selected it quite yet, but should be coming out soon. And once that does come through, they're going to have that, again, just a very small advantage, but it's still an advantage nonetheless as Omni takes all 3 shots from the Dragon's Breath. It is going to be the shifting sense. So, gonna be playing a lot more with those piercing, or what, with the Sandblast? Is that what they're called? I always forget this one. Yeah, Sandblast. But the Siege Camp starting to get a decent amount of damage onto the Swallows. Now Wallow in the backside. AG Silver will be able to dodge away. In fact, knocks Wallow back into the team. Light Bomb gonna land on a 2 Colossus Smash and the Warlord's Challenge. They're gonna be able to take down 2. Omni's gone as well. And it's just a clean 2-0 coming out of under new management. And they're looking very solid now. And again, this is a snowballing map, but neither side has really been able to get that snowball going yet. Now Aaron fighting with Chromage, and they do have the Shrine. And Liddell, there's no one here to contest it this time. It's going to be the first Dragon Knight of the game at 10.5 minutes. Going over to under new management. And now Brick gonna get punted away, as you do with the Sylvanas. And the mid lane wall is going to be going down. This mid lane fort gonna start getting poked down a little bit, but they do have 3 members just DPSing onto this Dragon Knight. But looks like right now that Liddell just gonna start walking this down to the bottom lane where they have taken that bruiser camp, so they're gonna be able to stack this up. And now Lumi in a safe spot down, but Brick not gonna get knocked backwards, actually gonna get punted away by Liddell. So unfortunately, and a little bit of anti-synergy there, but they're still getting a lot of damage onto this bot lane fort. I don't know if they'll be able to finish it, but as PP Wallow gonna get pushed out, and they won't be able to finish it with the Dragon Knight, but I think with the pressure that they have, it is just gonna be theirs. So first structure of the game going down to under new management, and their lead grows. It's now 1 2/3 level as Aaron actually coming into the back lane, immediately gonna get burst down. I didn't even notice that Brush Stalker. It was very sneaky, but not sneaky enough. Under new management, able to read it perfectly. And now, with the talent advantage, with the 4v5, they're looking to invade onto this bruiser camp as Brick could be in a bad spot, but staggering blow over the wall as Lumi is able to find Honor. Brick just needs a little bit more damage. 1 more auto, but the Stormbolt from PP Wallow is going to prevent that kill, but they cannot prevent the stolen camp. And now with that, they could start sieging up to this top side. They don't need to go through these walls. The Liddell immediately going to open up and exit if they need it. The walls do need to go, at least a little chunk of them, as people Wallow and Omni are back here. They are ready to contest. They are here ready to fight. But I mean, taking down this wall, getting this little bit of poke damage onto the fort, that's still going to be pretty big coming out for this squad. Under new management, they do take control of map number 2. But level 16 is now going to be popping up for the side of Magnitude Tsunami. And again, they're not down completely, but obviously you would want a domination for under new management if you're an under new management fan or part of their team. But being able to win the series, that's what really matters the most. But PP Wallow jumping in again onto this bruiser camp. We'll use the avatars now. PP Wallow is kind of alone in the back lane. Warlord's Challenge into Light Bomb, and that's all that's needed. But now the Isolate is there. Liddell gets knocked back, so they will be able to steal this camp, but they do lose 1 in the process. Does the fight continue on? It doesn't seem to, but they will be able to clear away this bruiser camp very quickly. Aaron getting a little bit of poke damage done onto this top set as AG Silver could be looking for the play, but instead they're just going to back away, clear out this bruiser camp, and kind of go from there. But now Wafflecopter's here, Brick is in the bot side, and with the Black Arrows we'll be able to shut off this fort. And they might have enough damage to finish it off. However, Brick is going to be backing out. Now Liddell looking for Omni again as the Colossus Smash. The Crystal Aegis is coming through. And now Omni going to get tossed into the back lane and will get finished off by Liddell. 9-1 the kill score now, favoring under new management. They look very different from their game number 1. They're able to take control of this map. They already have the push in the bot lane. They can start sieging up mid lane, or they can go to the top side as Aaron still pushing out onto this top lane forward. And if Aaron's able to take it, it will even out that map pressure coming out from Magnitude, or for Magnitude Tsunami. And it looks like Aaron will be able to take it. And now AG Silver's in the area. Allen by default not too far behind. Now the stasis is going to be there, but now the Chastise will be able to land. So they do have a little bit of control, but the damage just not there. Shockwave over top as well, as AG Silver just trying to grab that top lane fort. As now the Riptire in the bottom lane. Lumi could be in a dangerous spot. Concussion Mine as well, but now Liddell is there. And Wafflecops are going to be the first to go down. Lumi still trying to get away. Time Trap is in the area, but PP Wallow is alone behind enemy lines. And again, this is a damage variant. Allen by default is here, and the Dwarf Toss more than enough. But Aegisilver now in the area, but so is Omni, so is Brick. This is a 3v3, and the Unstoppable going to prevent the Wrecking Ball. PP Wallow going to get slowed up a little bit, but we'll be able to back away. So going to be a clean kill, 1-for-1 coming out in the bottom side. But now it does look like they will be able to take control of 2 shrines once again. The wave is pushed in. Liddell is going to have a timer, assuming Aaron does allow it, as Chromage is in the area, needs to knock Aaron away, but Striking Blow into the wall instead. So they're not going to be able to take control of the shrines. They're not going to be able to take the Dragon Knight. But Chromage actually could be in a dangerous spot. Level 20s are now available. Again, another Striking Blow coming through, but the rest of the squad is coming. But they're able to realize that, and Magnitude Tsunami, they do back away. But because of that, Omni gonna have a free rotation to this bot side. Will be able to take control of this shrine, or at the very least bring it to the halfway point, force back Magnitude Tsunami. Now Omni could be a little bit alone, but a Tamer Strike buys enough space as Liddell still walking forward. Now Liddell could be a little bit too far up, but Stormbolt not going to be able to land, and with that Liddell should be able to just get back to safety, and with Allen by default in the area, will be able to just heal them all back up. But now again, PP Wallow and Chromage, sorry, almost meeting up, but neither one's going to be able to really jump the other. I think that's kind of what they see. They look at each other, they wave, they say hi. They're like, let's not waste each other's time. We're just going to go on our way. But it is a little bit dicey right now. Magnitude, they're doing a very good job defending, because right now they're still down 20s. This has been the big advantage coming out right now from under new management. They haven't been able to get too much for it. Magnitude Tsunami, first of all, just with the good rotations, Omni helping buy a little bit of time in the bot lane. They had a Wallow in the top side, and again, that dive taking down Lumi earlier really opened up a lot, because it is that solo DPS build right now in terms of the draft. Now level 20s are going to get matched. So whatever advantage they did have, it is going to be gone. The top lane fort is gone. It is 1-to-1 in terms of structures. So it's really all just going to be about who's able to fight it out better. And now the fight is going to get started. The drag is there, but Leap of Faith, Aegisilver will stay alive as well, taking a decent amount of damage. And it is going to be unraveling for the level 18 talent coming out for Lumi. So that will increase the DPS that Lumi's able to bring, as Liddell jumping on a Wallow, but again, Dwarf Toss is going to be there once again. As now Chromage, again, just going to group into this mid lane, start shoving it out, but Wafflecopter, Wallow, and Omni, 3 members just going to be jumping in. In fact, looking a little bit towards Chromage. Not going to be able to land the Stormbolt, though. And we're starting to get into a little bit of a lull state this game. Neither side's really able to get a big enough advantage to get that Dragon Knight. Without the Dragon Knight, it's so hard for either of these two teams to siege. There's so much pick-off potential. There's so much area control. As now Lumi could be the target, but again, Into the Fray is going to be there. And Aegisilver is going to be the target instead. Has the Unstoppable, and now looking back, Light Bomb is going to be there, but the Silence is there as well. The Riptire will blow up onto both of them. Brick coming out with the Black Arrows as well. They're going to be able to take down this bot lane fort. So they didn't manage to get any kills, but they managed to pressure them right next to the structure, and that let them just walk straight through. And now the bot lane advantage that they had under new management is gone. Magnitude Tsunami, they're going to be able to retake control of this game. This is a snowballing map, like I was saying, but neither side really able to get that initial snowball. But now this could be the fight. This could be the angle. Aegisilver looking for Omni. Will knock Omni right into the backline. They lose their Oriole. They lose their healer. People, you Wallow. Gonna be the next target, as now Chromage jumps into the backline. Not gonna be able to accomplish too much, though. But without the healer, they're gonna have that 4v5 on the map. How much can they get for it? Because right now, both shrines are in favor of Magnitude Tsunami, but the death timers are long. And now PP Wallow could be getting targeted once again, but again, the Stormbolt and the Dwarf Toss combo, so good at preventing it. As Liddell and Wafflecopter, they're fighting. The Brushstalker going into the bottom lane. And it looks like they're trying to group onto Liddell. Liddell is alone, 1v3. But Chromage is in the area. Now they're looking at Brick. They have the Shockwave, just again trying to peel for Liddell. As the push, not even going to be able to grow into the top side. They don't have a wave anywhere nearby. And again, Magnitude Tsunami, just macro-wise, they are playing this perfectly. They are making sure that even 4v5, they apply so much pressure in all the right areas that the side of under new management can just never respond. And now PP Wallow is in the area. Liddell will take control of the shrine. So now can they hold on to it? That's the question. The time trap, unfortunately, stopping Chromage as well. Same with the haunting wave. Can they zone it? It's so hard with the grenades coming out of Waffle Copter. As now Lumi trying to tank them up, but misses one, and that's all that's needed. And now it is the 5v5. Wallow is in the area, jumping into the backline, looking for Lumi. Light Bomb is there, though. And now the Crystal Aegis is there to prevent it, both under stasis. And now the Riptide not going to be going down, but Wallow certainly might. The Chastise will add just a little bit more damage, and they will be able to get it. And now the Dragonite is still available. Chromage going to be piloting that one on kind of the Hogger anyway. And they will be able to take this mid lane fort. So now it's 2-2 in terms of forts, and Dragonite going to be walking down to this bottom lane. I don't think they'll be able to take this keep, but they can definitely start burning through these walls, trying to have the ability to push these waves in further and further. And again, look at the damage. Every one of those little triangle flames just absolutely shredding through. And now, again, the Dragon's Breath over top as well, just helping so much. And now they're just going to walk up, give it a couple good whacks just to make sure they go down. And the bot lane wall is going to be gone. So Magnitude Tsunami, losing out on this Dragonite was so big for them. Now, luckily, under new management, they were behind, but they were able to bring this game back just by having the one pick, that one good team fight afterwards as well. Now the Dragonite's super low, so they're not going to be able to get any more value out of that, but they're still getting some because of the pressure this Dragonite was applying in the bot lane. They were able to walk up to the top side, take that fort, and now all the advantages that they had on the side of Magnitude Tsunami are gone. They could look towards Chromage here though, but again, it's the Hog or Hog Wild. It's a very good ability if you want to be able to get away. Now, all 5 members are here. This could be the fight. It's BP Wallow going to get knocked to the back like Colossus Mash as well. Now the taunt with the Light Bomb as well, but neither one going down yet as Aaron now in the middle of everyone. The Isolate does land onto Chromage, but Chromage is going to be able to get right back in, and AG Silver still does not have the Wrecking Ball, and no one goes down. They don't have the DPS to fully take out this main tank, but at the same time, they're able to defend this mid lane fort because that was the play that Magnitude was going for. So in a way, they're in a good spot. As I choked a little bit at the start of that fight, so my apologies for that, but we're all good now. The Bruiser Camp is going to get taken by the side of Magnitude Tsunami, and the side of under new management should be able to secure theirs in no time as well. So now the only camp that is under advantage, or actually the mid lane fort, is where the attack is happening. Brick could be in a dangerous spot. The Black Arrows are about to expire. Time Trap not going to get used yet. But that could be an opportunity for them to fight on later. I think they have a very good positioning and very good spot right now coming in from under noob management. It is going to be all 5 members in the bottom side, and the Bruiser Camp is definitely going to be going the way of Magnitude Tsunami. And in my opinion, I think the Bruiser Camp is better than the Siege Camp. I think they're going to be able to get more value out of this push. So if you're trading 1-for-1 camps, that's probably not a good trade for them, as now they're going to knock Aaron into the backline. Chastise going to land, but it is again onto that main tank. But now the Crystal Aegis is there. Aaron actually starting to get decently low. Same with PP Wallow, but they just don't have the follow-up after that initial engage. If they can't get onto the backline, I don't think they have the damage to get these kills. And I think that's kind of the issue for really both of these two teams, because so far the first play has been done by under noob management for most of this game. There's a reason why they're 12-2 in terms of kills. But as the game moved on, as the tanks became tankier, and they do only have the 1 DPS on Lumi, as actually 5-member fight, 5v4 in this bottom lane. Chromage is alone to the top side. AG Silver getting focused down. And now Leap of Faith trying to get both of them away. Chastise buys a little bit of space as well. Now the Riptide trying to land. And the perfect escape. Allen by default keeping the team alive there. But to go back to my original point, when you have all of these members that are just good at taking down one single target, but only 1 DPS, you cannot win the fight if you're just going on tanks, especially when they're so mobile with the Dwarf Toss. I believe has the extra range as well. Dwarf Launch at level 16. So you have to reach the backline, but your only engage is kind of running at them. So because of that, it's really easy to position in a way where they can never reach the backline. As now Wallow actually going to be going in and will get tossed out this time just for a change of pace. And a lot of damage again onto AG Silver. Now Liddell on the bot side will be able to retake onto the shrine. To the side of Magnitude Tsunami, they're going to be going back there themselves, as we see. Catapult Warfare, but unfortunately Red Catapult is going to win on that side. Now on the blue side, it looks like the Red Catapult again also holding an advantage. So both those lanes gonna start pushing in favor of Magnitude. As again, there's a couple more grenades coming through, but now the fight could be there. The Chastise lands on it too. They have the Warlord challenge. Light Bomb as well with the Groundbreaker. Now the Crystal Aegis can only land on one. It is gonna be on a Wallow. But now the Reptire hits only on one. Perfect stasis coming through from Lumi. And again, no one goes down. Chromage is in the area. Hog Wild to get away. As now Brick could get targeted back as Liddell may have gone a little bit too deep, falling onto it. And now the Wailing Arrow silence on it too. Wallow looking to follow. It is going to be a 2-for-0 for now. Lumi starting to get pretty low as well. Same with Chromage. But Lumi will be able to back away. But this will be the loss of their mid lane fort. We are now tied in structures. But it is 5v3 on the map. Aaron gonna be able to take this top lane shrine. And Aaron could just brush stalker right in. And that looks to be the plan. And take this Dragon Knight. The first one of the game for Magnitude Tsunami. But it's a late one. It is a 25-minute one. This is a very powerful Dragon Knight. Waffle Captor sitting in the air unraveling. But Chromage not able to land the staggering blow. But now they are going to be here. The Dragon Knight has already started DPSing onto this mid lane keep. And this keep should definitely be going down. Look how strong this Dragon Knight is. 26 minutes in. 630 damage, 1260 to structures. And can just immediately walk right up to the top side. Take this keep as well. Now everyone is going to be back up on the side of Newb management. And because of that, they're going to have to back away. But 2 full keeps from 1 objective. That is an absolutely massive lead that you can get for yourself. And Magnitude Tsunami, they were behind for a good chunk of this game, but they're able to bring it right back. And now they're the ones in the driver's seat. They still have 50 seconds left on the Dragon Knight. They could just walk this down to the bot lane. It's still 40% HP. It's not the healthiest, but it's healthy enough that they could definitely start sieging onto the wall. But now Liddell and Wallow starting to fight. Liddell getting really low. Wailing Arrow was committed, but again, the leap of faith coming out from Allen by default going to be more than enough to keep them alive. But Liddell needs to try and find some kind of angle, but there is a snap trap coming out from the top side. Brick could be targeted as well. Instead, they're going to look onto Wallow, and Wallow will get burst down. The light bomb not even needed for that Riptire, only going to land on a Chromage, and that should put a stop to this siege. But again, the real question comes after that. What can they get with that extra pick? Because right now, all they can get is they get to keep their base. Now, you're definitely going to want more on the side of under Newb management. This bot lane keep is quite low. But again, it's only 4v5. It is Wallow missing. It is their main tank. So there could be some extra angles for them to walk through. But so far, they haven't been able to find the angles. Now, Lumi's going to be in the area. But again, these traps just make it so difficult for Liddell and AG Silver to just walk in and make that play happen. But now there is the Bruiser Camp, and they could definitely look to contest onto this, and it looks like that is the plan. AG Silver is in the area, but the Bruiser Camp already almost gone. The Unstoppable is going to be there, but what can they do? They have Aaron into the backline. Chastise not going to land, neither will the Warlord's challenge. But now the Colossus smashed the Wailing Arrow silence, though, preventing any kind of play. And in fact, the drag is going to be there, and that's going to be a kill going over towards Aaron. And now it's going to be a 4v5 going the other way, except this time, they're the ones that have pushed. They're pinging onto Aaron. Aaron could look for a play. AG Silver looking for someone to the back, and they're able to find Omni, but the Crystal Aegis is there. But they also have Waffle Copter. Waffle Copter going to be going down. Omni is still alive, though, keeping the rest of the team going. As Lumi, 200 HP, Light Bomb on AG Silver, not going to be enough. Wallow able to take down Lumi in the back line. As our Chromage gets stunned into the wall. Aaron also in the area. Chromage just trying to fight Hog Wild, just trying to get away, but a couple more hits, a couple more stuns. And Chromage will follow. Out by default getting chased down by Brick as well. The Chastise is there. Out by default. Healer is stronger than DPS. But that may not matter because it is just out by default. Needs to 1v3 here as they are getting onto the core. And it looks like this is just going to be it. Magnitude Tsunami with a very hard-earned victory. They're going to be looking to clean up the core. They're going to be looking to clean up under Newb management and get the domination. However, Liddell is back up. Will get hit with an Entertainment Strike immediately. Chastise not going to be able to land. And they're just circling around, and that's all that's needed. Took him a bit, but they're able to secure it, and they get the 4 points for the domination. And I mean, I don't even really know what to say about that game. That was a really close game. And as in usual fashion for Dragon Shire, it's a very close game until it wasn't. Because at one point, Magnitude Tsunami, just with one fight, they were able to take the Dragon Knight. They were able to just clear up the whole map. And I mean, it's very rare where you see the team win with only half the kills of the other team. But again, the macro play coming out of Magnitude Tsunami is absolutely insane. This is something that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on for the rest of the season, because in the micro, I will say, under new management, they did win more fights. And granted, they had a better team fight composition overall. Garrosh and Varian, they're very good at getting picks early on and then just kind of winning 4v5. But it's insane how well Magnitude Tsunami were just able to play the map. Even when they were down a member or two, they just never let under new management get back into the game now. Oh, with that being said, let me see if I can find someone to come in for an interview. Let me just send a ping. How is this spelled? Magnitude Tsunami. There's so many. Yeah, there's 4 Magnitude teams this season. Is lobby 1 even open? Yeah, lobby 1's open. Yeah, hopefully someone will join. And as the usual rule, oh, someone joined immediately.
Tokibi, what's up?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Joining me is PP Wooloo today, obviously playing that tank row on that Meriden in that last game, and first game of the season, 2-0. How do you feel
Well, we've been training our whole lives for this.
for this exact game?
For this one game. Yeah, it's a little bit of I don't know if you're familiar with the history, but it's a little bit of a important match for our group. We were in the same division as under new management last season, and we didn't get to play them in the finals, unfortunately. So we were really looking forward to this match, and it felt good. Good start to the season.
Yeah, and I mean, the game number 1 was pretty well controlled by you guys, but game number 2, that's the one I really want to talk to you about, because in terms of the pick potential, under new management has just been getting pick after pick after pick, but just the macro play coming out from your squad really prevented them from getting anything done. Now, is this something that you think is because of the kind of team cohesiveness you have? Because like you said, you've been training the whole offseason, your whole lives even, just for this one series. And just kind of walk me through the strategy that you had going in, especially on a Dragonshire.
I think that the drafts, they drafted better than us on the map, and they had such a strong frontline presence that even doing the camps was really tenuous and scary for our team. I mean, how many times could they invade and just bully us off? So finding the time to get in there and find the time to do it, trying to get to the Chromie was really, really tough because they were very well insulated, and 2 pools on Anduin made it like really tough to lock anybody down. But at the end of the day, they could outkill us at the front, or if they grabbed an Ariel, they could outkill us. But our Junkrat was able to provide really good deep push, safe, and keep them away from the structure for the most part. They got plenty of structure off of us, but it helped us. Their lack of siege hurt them, and our ability to safely defend, helped us play into the late game. And then it was just a battle of mistakes. If we made a mistake, they'd punish us for it, and if we caught them out, we could get them for it. And then whoever wins that big last fight at that stage in the game, it's kind of lights out.
Yeah, and it does seem like you had very good discipline, because like you said, it definitely was a game of mistakes, because if you play properly, they can never get onto your backline. But at the same time, if under new management play properly, you're never getting onto Lumi. You're never getting onto that Chromie. So it's just, who's going to break first? Because someone has to. Otherwise, it's going to be an infinite stalemate. You want to try poke and prod. So with that, were you trying to do a lot of those aggressive plays? Were you trying to kind of break the stalemate yourself? Or was your strategy more just let under new management overextend a little bit and punish after?
Through the early and mid game, it was everything we could to survive. We were obviously behind quite a bit, and we had to come back. But we got that kind of like later dragon. We're able to get 2 keeps with it and start building really good momentum on the map and pressure. So we could see, when they had somebody having to cover, that was an opportunity for us to be a little bit more aggressive. But we didn't want to be aggressive if we didn't know where they were at. So it just was about like the patience that you said, and trying not to get caught, because they had some creative angles, and they caught us by surprise plenty of times where everyone's just saying, run right, get out of there.
Yeah, there definitely was like, and especially like from the cash point of view, because I mean, obviously, I can see where you are, I can see where they are at the exact same time. There were so many moments where they were just perfectly flanking you, perfectly behind you, but the positioning you were able to bring out, and again, especially to you and Aaron, just constantly making sure that your backlines, your squishies are safe, because if they pull you in, you have dwarf toss, you can get away. If they pull Aaron in, can just burrow underground and be fine, you know? But anyone else would definitely be going down in those situations. So I do have to give you a big shout out for your positioning in that second game, especially.
It wasn't super fun. And even though Muradin can get out, it doesn't mean he's always going to get out with the taunt and the light bomb and the chastise. There's lots of ways that he doesn't get out. And even with the Ariel and the Aegis, nothing's guaranteed, right? And
No.
Ariel was getting punished for being close. So that made it hard to get in for the Aegis when you've been blown up in the early game so many times. You don't want to be too close, and then you're out of range for the save tool, right?
Yeah, 100%. But let's shift gears a little bit, get away from this series, and kind of look towards the rest of the season. I mean, obviously, Nexus Division, we were able to bring it back. Definitely not what you played in last season. No one played in it last season. So, looking for the rest of the season, what are your goals for season 20?
Consistency. I mean, if you get a domination at the beginning, all you could hope for is consistency. Um, stay strong through the season and get into the postseason, and that's where the real fun starts, right?
All right. Now, are there any matches you're specifically looking forward to coming up later on?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question.
I just
Let's
thought
look
of
at
it
the
too. I'm like, wow, that is a great one.
yeah, I mean, so Magnitude Tsunami's been around for a little bit. This is the Magnitude Tsunami second season in Nexus. We played 2 seasons ago in Nexus. So recognizing like Gilly Shark is fun. Under new management, Crit Kickers came from behind our familiar teams, and it's always fun to play, with your friends and play people and bring some good competition. So I wouldn't say any one of them. Crit Kickers, we're coming for you.
Perfect. Get the
but
rivalry started soon.
but it's all in good fun, right? It's competitive gaming, and we want to bring good competition, to these teams and have fun while we're doing it.
No, I mean for sure the F in NGS stands for fun, so that's definitely what we gotta be able to bring in. It's also to pay respects.
No doubt.
But yeah, anyway, with that, are there any shout outs you'd like to give? Anything you'd like to say to the audience right now?
100%. Thanks to you for casting. Casting, I think, makes the game really engaging for people. And, anyone playing in any division is going to tune in and watch and see some stupid stuff. I mispicked all kinds of talents. So you can look at those and go, what are you doing?
Oh, okay, sorry. Because you brought that up, sorry to cut you off. So was that Stormbolt talent level 1? Was that intentional or?
We were talking about how we wanted to play the game, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be hitting these guys. And then I didn't take uh, the super damage
Yeah.
talent, and then I was like, whatever, this is a rainbow build.
Okay.
Just play good, and it doesn't matter. So yeah, I look, you can learn from these matches what to do. You can learn from these matches what not to do. So thanks to you for casting. And keeping the engagement and keeping the hype alive. Otherwise, we're just playing amongst ourselves and without the crowd, and the crowd brings a lot of energy and brings a lot of fun to it. Um, Thanks to Magnitude as an organization, there's 4 teams in NGS under Magnitude. I think 2 in Div C potentially, a Div A and a Nexus. So lots of Magnitude fun. And then Albatox has been working with us and helping us improve season over season. So thanks to guidance from Albatox. Appreciate that for sure.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on your domination. Thank you for coming to the interview, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.
Hey, you too, Toki. Thanks again.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And with that, it is also time to end this stream as well. So thank you all for coming by. Thank you, Magnitude Tsunami and our new management, for a great 2 games. Unfortunately, not going to be a third one. And I know Magnitude Tsunami fans are like, oh, well, we prefer the domination. As a caster, I am always biased towards a game number 3. That is my only bias, that and against Tahaka. But then before we go, quick shout out to Absolute Yoda and Smitty Werb for the follows, and Kated303, thank you for the raid. Kated303 is a new caster as well, so let's all be supportive as they're going to be coming in and helping showcase all of these wonderful games for this season 20 of NGS. And one final thank you, of course, to the sponsor of today's stream, Factor 75. Factor 75 is the meal service to get. And you know why? Because every single meal is healthy, it is chef inspired, it is delicious, it is creative, and the biggest part, every single one can be ready in under 2 minutes. So if you got that busy finals coming up, if you've had a stressful week at work, if you just want to kick back, relax, and enjoy some chef crafted cuisine on the cheap. And yeah, with that, be sure to get a subscription for Factor 75. Click my link or use the code Factor SE82337 to get 50% off your first box and free breakfast for 1 year. And the code works for anyone in the US. So unfortunately, if you're not in the States, this code won't work for you, but I highly recommend checking out Factor anyway. And Kaden, apologies for that. I'll be honest, I don't think I've tuned into too many of your streams last season then, but I am decently new to NGS still. I think this is my almost 1 year anniversary. It will be during this season. So yeah, either way, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you whenever I pick up my next cast. Not sure when that will be, but I'll see you when I see you. Have a good night.